Hey, it's Raven Tactical here. Gonna do a little bit of a discussion over the things that are going on as far as civil unrest, right? So obviously, people have been protesting in Michigan over the stay-home orders. States now basically they're leaving the federal part of it's leaving it up to the state, which is kind of a good thing in a way because the federal's not taking control. But some cases, I can see the people in your government not really caring. Our own state got extended throughout May. We're in the middle of April, so so we're getting 6 weeks extended. I could foresee it being extended through June, and that's just the way it is. The stay-at-home for Wisconsin isn't as strict as like Michigan, where they're restricting travel, movement, and everything else. So in that light, it's not as bad, but still in Michigan, it's horrible. You can't get seeds, you can't get fishing equipment, you're not even supposed to be able to fish in your own pond. Like your own pond, right? Like, I don't know how that works, because as long as it's not DNR water, you should be able to do whatever you want, right? But they're making that. And the worst part is, people are selling each other out because they're home. So you have people selling neighbor against neighbor, and you know what? That's how it's gonna be. You know, if you think about it, the person that's gonna sell you out is most likely that neighbor down the road who you and them maybe don't get along all that well. Maybe he's the neighbor that you don't even know, because you know what? In today's society, people are so busy, they don't know the neighbors in their neighborhood. So for us, it's a little different. We live in a rural area, and we kind of know, you know, we made an effort to meet our neighbors, and we moved into our place because of our neighbors, you know. So a little different for us, but we still have the, how would I put it? We still have the questionable neighbors. And the questionable neighbors I'm going to give you are the ones that surprised us last year a little bit. And we're not surprised when the cops this year were being called up. One of them got arrested, and it was for like statutory rape and a whole bunch of things like that. So it was interesting for us to see, you know, the things that we felt come true. You know, the personal observations you have with your neighbor come true. On the flip side of this, going back to the whole government side, yeah, Michigan went down and did the right thing. Michigan residents went down and protested in their cars, blaring their horns, honking, making a big scene, and blocking the roads, right? Very cool to see that, honestly. Did it accomplish anything? I doubt it, because once again, kind of like how I gave the Virginia gun rally thing, they look at the other side against us, looks at it like, well, here you go, you know. If this is all we have to deal with is a day or two of them honking horns and clogging traffic and going around and picking up trash and, you know, saying their piece, giving them that 5 minutes on the top of their soapbox, then so be it. It's not the end of the world for us. However, when people start getting arrested for going to a park, when people start getting arrested for arguing to get seats, you know, when people start actually seeing the heavy hand of the government pushing back on these people, maybe you might see the pushing back on our side. So far, our side really doesn't have, you know, we like to protest, we like to write a blog, we write a letter to our governor, we write a letter to our president. Cool. Oops. All good things. However, I think it's, you know, things that they expect you to do. And in the reality, in the long run, I think, you know, there's a time for certain things. There's a time for writing letters. There's a time for a walk-in protest. And there's a protest coming up in Wisconsin right now, too. One's in Madison, I believe, and one's in Mosinee, which, if you're familiar with Wisconsin, I don't really quite understand why Mosinee would be the epicenter for a protesting the stay-at-home. It's a small paper mill town. I don't know. I mean, it's in the middle of the state, but I couldn't quite figure that one out. And those are on April 24th for anybody in Wisconsin that wants to go. Anyways, I think we're looking at it from a perspective of, you know, there's this time period, right? I mean, they even talk about it in the Bible, you know, the time to sow, the time for war, the time for peace, right? Well, nearing a time where the protesting, the letter writing, all the things are starting to not work. They're not working. Why? Because the other side calls her bluff. And the other side realizes, okay, what are you going to do? You know, it's the thing when someone tells you, what are you going to do about it? You know, you threaten me, but what are you going to do about it? I'm going to lay these laws down that prevent your family from getting food, but what are you going to do? I'm going to lay down laws that prevent you from defending yourself. What are you going to do about it? I'm going to lay down laws that say, let's release all the non-super violent prisoners, but we're going to release all the pedophiles, rapists, and felons out on your streets. And then when the food shortage is going, and none of these guys have any resources because they're coming straight out of prison, well, what do you expect them to do? Oh, well, they went around terrorizing everything. Well, what do you expect, right? But you have no way of defending yourself, because if you do, we'll put your family in jail for having an illegal gun. No. Well, there you go. Now you've opened up the prisons for these people to go right into it. We'll put you in prison because you went fishing to feed your family. We'll put you in prison because you shot a deer with a bow because you can't get food. So let's think about it from that perspective there. This is Ginger, tactical hellhound. Anyways, so, I mean, let's just think about it from these perspectives. Let me know what you think about it. I kind of think this is going to get worse before it ever gets better, or it might not actually get better. I mean, this is not in our hands. I mean, this is truly from a biblical perspective. I'm looking at it from, like, it would be like God is, you can read about it in the Bible, where God basically gives Israel warnings, right? He gave them warnings and warnings and warnings, and finally, because they didn't believe in this, it happened. You could draw similarities to that. If you don't really believe in that, that's fine. I get it. You know, you could draw similarities to the Revolutionary War or Civil War, on how the things with tyrant kings and everything happened. There's a lot of things that you could draw conclusions from and repeating of history. Let me know what you think. It's Raven Tactical out. Thank you again for all the subscribers, comments. I think we have a really good core group of people who do a really great job at commenting and thoughtful ideas, and I appreciate it. And I do apologize if I can't comment back to every single one of you guys. I would really like to, but time is tough right now. Just trying to get ready for everything, and I'm still an essential worker with 2 jobs, so that's basically my life right now. Anyways, it's Raven Tactical out again. Take care of your family, pray for the country, and pray for your groups, and pray for your family.